Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well today. And it has been 89 days since David Moss and the Strongblock team announced a rewards cap for node holders, which effectively wiped out people's strong portfolio and stopped the project in its tracks overnight on the 19th of May 2022. In this video, I'm going to check out what's happening with the project, the amount of nodes that are still active, and my opinion about what I think is going to happen with Strongblock in the future. And just a reminder too that this isn't financial advice and all of this is just my own opinion. So please do your own research before you do any investing. The announcement of the nodes cap was met with huge blowback and the community was left confused, angry, and wondering what the hell had just happened. What happened was that nodes were advertised to give lifetime rewards, and then with no warning whatsoever, David Moss, who's the CEO of Strongblock, all of a sudden decided to cap node rewards. At the time of the announcement, I did a video where I said that I really think that David needs to show some leadership right now and be seen by the community to calm everybody down and to explain his decision that seemed to have come out of nowhere. Since that time, we haven't really heard a peep from David or the Strongblock team, except for a few Twitter announcements, which never really seem to address what everybody wants to know, which is why aren't you even acknowledging us? Their announcements would just come across as business as usual and would be overwhelmed by comments from angry people trying to find answers. If you've been following my channel, you know that I love to really deep dive into the project and do really in-depth reviews about the project and the white paper and all of that type of stuff. And if this was a new project that I was reviewing, the blatant silence from the devs would be a massive red flag for me, and it would be enough to keep me out of the project. When I am researching, a big important factor for me is how strong is the community and what's the community like, and how do the devs actually interact with the community with all the questions that they've got. And I think that other people feel the same, because now a lot of people are taking their rewards and letting their nodes expire, which can be seen if you compare the service to contract to the Discord. This is the contract, and if you scroll down to 67 and 68, you can see the total matured nodes, which is 53,439, and the total nodes, which is 156,621. So total matured nodes is the nodes that have already reached their 20 cap and now they've matured, they're out, they're no longer producing rewards. The total nodes is obviously the amount of nodes total in it. And if you look at number 70, this is total packs. So that's the number of entangled nodes. So there's 13,941 entangled nodes. So what's interesting about this is if you compare the total nodes with their Discord, which says there's 598, let's say just for ease, 600,000 nodes created, but currently there's only 156 active nodes. That gives you an idea of the amount of nodes that got completely slashed during that announcement. And this is only Service 2. It doesn't even take into consideration the Service 1 contract. That's 5/6 of the nodes that have ever been created that are now no longer there. And I know that some people had 100 nodes in their wallet, but you could probably say that that's roughly 5/6 of the community that David Moss and the Strongblock team decided to alienate and piss off the moment that they did that announcement. I think what's interesting too is that what the contract doesn't tell us is that the total number of nodes currently active, it doesn't tell us which of those are currently overdue or their due dates are about to expire on their maintenance fees. So this number could just start to go down as well when people just let their nodes lapse because they can't be bothered to pay the maintenance fees anymore. And Florida Man, who gives updates in the Discord general server, has been following the contract and has been seeing a steady decline in node creation over time. And his most recent post from about a week ago explains this. He says, just glancing at Service 2 node count looks like a pretty hefty jump in matured nodes today. I think I'll still move the count to weekly, but 800 plus Service 2 nodes matured today with only 400-ish new nodes makes our biggest net decline of 400 today. So you can see by the contract and by the people following all this that people creating nodes is just decreasing over time. So with an angry community, a decrease in node creations and the possibility that people are just letting their nodes expire, is Strong still a project that is going to survive into the future, and what does the future hold for Strong? Well, if we look at the 156 1,000 nodes that are still active. That equates to about $1.3 million per month in maintenance fees. That is, if people are still paying their maintenance fees. So that is still a sizable chunk of money for the Strongblock team for them to contribute into creating the Strong Chain. If you scroll through Discord, you can still find people that are bullish on the project. And if you look at Twitter, some of the replies, you can still find positive replies, but they're always embedded in a sea of pissed off people. And the sad thing is that projects live and die by the community. As Strongblock has been around for so long, it's got a big community attached to it. So it's going to be a slow death. And the thing is that even if Strongblock announced the release of Strong Chain tomorrow, would anybody even care or trust them again? And I think if David and the team stay silent on this, then the answer, sadly, is probably no. But surely there must be some positives. Let's objectively look at the roadmap and the positives and see if they are achieving their roadmap goals. They've done the transition to Stronger. They've now created entangled nodes, which has made the node fees a lot more manageable in terms of gas fees. They've done the node migration, which has also reduced the gas fees. They've created the phantom entangled nodes as well. So they are achieving things off their roadmap, and objectively speaking, that's all really good news and that's positive stuff. But despite that, in my opinion, I think Strong is just going to keep shrinking and shrinking and shrinking until either they apologize or they just do something, anything to the community, and also until perhaps the hype around Strong Chain starts to be built, and particularly as well until when Strong Chain actually comes out, because that's going to be the time when the node migration actually happens and we can actually see if people are going to start making money from it. And I think if people do start making money from the Strong Chain, then a lot of people are going to start adopting it again and start creating nodes on the Strong Chain, because essentially money is money. And if people see that it's working and it's an actual usable blockchain, then, you know, I think that's going to breathe a lot of life back into the project. But you know what? Having said all that, a project lives and dies by the community, and Strongblock have alienated 5/6 of their community. And think about the amount of time it took them to build this community. So basically what Strong have got to do is fire their PR person immediately, because clearly they're not doing their job. Take some of that 1.3 million, hire somebody who's decent, do a whole lot of damage control, start to either win back your old community or start to build a new community, start to build that trust again. And then maybe we're talking about, you know, the Strong of old that everybody loved and, you know, all that type of stuff. And so what am I doing with my nodes? Well, my nodes at the moment are all overdue. And basically what I'm going to do is when they're just about to get wiped out by the contract, I'm going to pay the maintenance fee, collect my rewards, and then, you know, I'm just going to let them die after that. And I'm just going to keep the Stronger tokens in my wallet, maybe forever, who knows. But if, you know, if Strong Chain and all that type of stuff does happen, then obviously I'm going to create more nodes with the rewards that I've got. But for me, it's just not financially viable at the moment to keep pumping all this money into it in terms of maintenance fees and all that, when the return I'm actually getting is so small. I will keep an eye on the amount of nodes that are getting created, and obviously I'm going to do any announcements or anything like that. And I really, really hope, for all of our sake and for Strongblock's sake, that they start to please just at least say something to the community. Don't just keep going as business as usual, because you're losing people fast. And really, David has proven himself to be a really good business person in terms of the technology side, you know, and his previous blockchain was actually really successful. So the potential for Strong Chain is, it could be really successful as well. But if you've got no community there to back the project, then who cares? And my friends, I'm really curious about what you think about the future of Strongblock. Do you think I'm completely off, or do you have another idea? Or are you in fact bullish on Strongblock and you think it is gonna, you know, be a phoenix rising out of the ashes? You know, that might happen. I'd really, really love to know. Please leave a comment. And until next time, I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.